Vietnam's hidden gems, thriving crypto startups despite VC hurdles, showcasing innovation.
Compare, because I have a chance to work in really different country in a ASEAN, for example. First time founder or existing founder from Vietnam tend to be less equipped with, like mental toughness as well as essential, uh, like corporate management skill
Yeah.
to make sure that their startups survive and sustain and grow safely compared with like well educated.
Yeah, I joke around. I sometimes say that if you want to be a founder, you should take some kind of mental health test first, because you got to be a little crazy.
And like, so it's not exactly like the VC fault, but sometimes I think for the past 10 years, the past 20 years, these VC have tried and see that, I mean, the ratio is really, I mean, for me, for them, the ratio is really that small. So that's how much exactly I look into this market, because the local founders hasn't done enough to change my mind in a way. And I think when you look at the startup ecosystem like that, it will be fascinating how the crypto startups booming in Vietnam. You didn't realize that.
No, I did not.
So I have mentioned to you about the challenge of getting funds for local, like let's say startups, for example, because you have to depend on the supply, the funding for from the local VC to grow to the next stage and everything. But when you bring that into the cryptocurrency and blockchain, what has changed in the model? If you have a good product concept, if you can build something that meaningful, you don't depend on the local VC supply. You can raise fund, you can get funding support from anywhere in the world. So for the same quality of founders, very good developer in Vietnam, Vietnam has been able to build quite a few quality, top-notch, like project out there according to the global standard. So a lot of the good project. So I'm gonna give shout out to Axie Infinity is actually built in Vietnam.
I know that.
You didn't know that, right?
No, no.
So the CEO of Axie Infinity is Vietnamese, and they have the entirely developer team here in Vietnam. It's a product built by the Vietnam people. It's just that their company and their project register are somewhere else, but the talents that build the project are Vietnamese people. And then there will be other project that also famous in the crypto currency space will be like Kyber Network, Coin98. These are, like project has been well known globally. And these people, these project, they're not depends on the local funding anymore. They just go straight to, hey, global audience, we are building this. If you love our idea, put a bit of investment in us, and hopefully we can be great in the future.
I know 'cause all these like big time tech companies coming here, like Microsoft's coming here and NVIDIA's coming here. I think can build on data center. Like, pretty much any big names coming to Vietnam now, right?
Everyone, you didn't know, right? I think so Ubisoft have a very big like gaming design team here in Vietnam in Da Nang. No one knows about it. Samsung already have like a very big factory in the north. Nvidia coming. They sign our strategic agreement with the government. They're coming. Uh, yeah, all kind of tech company they're here, and I think they try to build. They all try to build chips and stuff. But, it's amazing. It's
Yeah.
amazing.
So, how many startups have you invested in so far?
I think like every season, like um maybe two or three, like per cycle, something
Okay.
like that. Because my
And a
my
cycle per year.
maybe
Okay.
every 10 months,
Okay.
or it can be, yeah, like
Okay.
a year, probably a
Okay.
year. So my investment model, it's just my way of doing it is it could be both money plus a lot of like advisory, because like I feel like these startups just missing a bit of like DNA to be like invincible, invincible. So you adding that missing last piece of DNA, they will be successful. What make a successful startup different from a newborn startup? Failure. The more you run it, the more challenge you have seen, right? So you just want to make sure that the incoming startup, you need to know what I have stepped into before and avoid it. And I think that's bring a lot of value to these startups.
Is there any startup that you're with right now that you invested in now that you're excited about that you want to talk about for a little bit?
Yes, I think the two that I mentioned to you. So one of them are like a gaming like infrastructure for Web3 games. It's called Aragon, and the other project called Santa Pocket, which is a drop shipping project. Each of them solves very specific, like problem in the local market. I think I start with like Santa Pocket. I would not say, like compare with the US, right? So in the US, depend on the state and depend on the city. Sometimes, like when UPS and, like shipment, right? They just leave the parcel in front of your door. It's safe. No one gonna touch it and everything, right? But in Vietnam, it may be not that secure for your goods and, like parcel to be safely be in front of your door. So the Santa Pocket project is simply creating these, like smart locker at residential area where shipper can coming in, unlock your locker and drop your stuff inside and lock it, but everything by QR code. So only you can open your own locker. So no one can actually, touch anything inside of your stuff. So because most people, like going in to work every day. So the smart locker will receive stuff and send stuff for you on behalf of you. So it's one of the project.